Hi everybody, I'm Monica Morales and you're watching the Monica Makes It Happen social media show. We have a weekly podcast too on Friday on YouTube. Brandon Scoop B. Robinson is here. He's a national television broadcaster and executive producer. He's also an NBA insider and the co-founder of Scoop B Radio, which is a media marketing and production company. We're one-on-one talking business and how to win in the game called life. But first, this.
Monica Makes It Happen is proudly supported by Goya. If it's Goya, it has to be good.
Brandon Scoop B. Robinson is here. Thank you. Can I call you Scoop?
You can. You can call me everything except late for dinner.
We're going to use that in our June special with our Father's Day.
Okay.
You grew up here. Tell me a little bit about your story.
Well, I was born in Jersey, but raised in both here and the borough of Manhattan, as well as some time in the Bronx. I come from a background of entrepreneurs, which is why I think we're here today.
Yes.
My family ran and operated 2 shoe businesses in Harlem, and that kind of inspired my career in sports broadcasting.
And you have quite a following. I mean, your podcast, which is called Scoop B Radio. I'm obsessed with podcasts. That's all I watch nowadays. 10 million streams. This is incredible. What's the secret to your success?
Consistency and a good business partner. We literally started Scoop B Radio out of a Timberland box. That is about as New York City as it comes.
I love it.
I had a bunch of tapes from the interviews that I did as a child. I started in the industry at 12 years old, working for the Nets, doing a kids radio show. And I had old interviews with like B.J. Armstrong, who played on the Bulls, Dikembe Mutombo, Jason Williams, and a myriad of people. We digitized those tapes. And that was the foundation. But in today's world, we've had anyone from DJ Khaled to Pete Sampras to Mark Cuban to a myriad of people on Scoop B Radio, and it goes viral a lot.
Yeah, a lot, all the time. That's why you're here. I mean, I want to, pick your brain about how to do it here at Pix 11. What's the key to getting these Get interviews? Because I love Get interviews myself, but how do you do it? Is it just your charm? You said persistent, right? You're persistent.
You gotta be persistent. But I think the cheat code that both you and I both have is the notion that we're both in the field every day. I watch you on Pix 11 pretty regularly, and I see how you move and weave as a field reporter, and me covering basketball. And so being in the field and developing that rapport with the subjects you cover, that's a natural progression and visibility to book guests.
And when I did something with the Yankees, I remember there was a cop shot and he came out of a coma and he wanted to meet the Yankees. And I had that contact because of my years of covering the Bronx, and I was able to make that connection. I remember that was really powerful stuff. You have those cell phone numbers in your phone right now.
Both of them.
Can someone hold them down? I want the phone. But that's so valuable.
Yes.
And it's also, you're just a really great guy. Like you seem like your heart comes into every story. Is that part of the secret sauce?
I think so. I think you and I both can relate to being candid, being ourselves, and just naturally holding conversation. I think the biggest part of that whole equation, particularly in the podcast game specifically, is kind of tying it all together and adding the written word as well as the on-camera word as well as the audio word, and creating I guess a Rolodex of different outlets that you can send it to, and then that moment comes together once it's written about, once it's syndicated, and all those things happen.
And I think I was trying to podcast before it was a podcast, because I was doing a social media show, like hundreds of them, and this just keeps going and going, because I love the conversation, because I feel like when you're so structured on television, you can't have that moment, and you're always so timed out and you're under stress. And I feel like when you let people talk, the stuff that comes out is unbelievable. So is there something that would surprise us about you, Scoop B, that like regular followers wouldn't know about you? Is there something that would surprise us?
Maybe surprised. I think the biggest thing is, I'll say this, I think that when I'm dealing with athletes specifically.
Do tell us some stories.
I think the thing that kind of it's endearing to them is that when they were playing AAU basketball at 12 and 13 years old, that's when I started at 12 and 13. So while they were dribbling a basketball, I saw early on that maybe I wasn't as good as them, I was as tall as them, I could hold conversation with them, but being able to sit down and have those conversations, how was practice? What did coach have you doing today? And then the storytelling element of it. I think you have the cheat code yourself because you literally are like a therapist. You have this couch. You have just the setup that makes people feel comfortable. I think that same notion, as you mentioned, with having conversations, makes people want to have a sip of water and talk and just shoot the bit.
Well, you know, I'll be honest with you. When I talk to you on the phone, you fall in love with people. I love the people that are on my show, and I hope that shows. You know, it's not just an interview. Like, I have relationships with. We're going to have a relationship.
Sure.
Hopefully, my husband's okay with that. But I mean, you know what I mean.
In a good
it's
way.
like it's a relationship where we stay in touch. Give me like a little spicy story about one of these celebrities, if you can. Like, is there something that sticks out that you're like, I wish I could tell people about Shaquille O'Neal, or you know, what do you want to?
You know, Shaq is one of the nicest guys that you will ever meet. I will tell you that I want to say we really connected from 2016 on. I'll never forget this. Right before the world shut down because of the height of the pandemic, I had bumped into Shaq at All-Star Weekend in 2020, and he had changed his number. And I said, I can't get a hold of you anymore. He said, what number you got? And I showed him. He goes, I had to change that number. I said, why? And I won't tell you what he said.
This is good.
But this is what I'll say. It's funny. So we connected in February. He changed his number. The world shut down a month later during the height of the pandemic. And I really was motivated to create something memorable on a digital front. And I picked up the phone and I called Shaq and I said, hey man, can I get you on my podcast? He goes, yeah, when do you want to do it? I was like, let's do it in a couple days. He FaceTimes me, he says, you ready? I said, man, I'm gonna call you. We did the interview.
Oh my God,
and
I love him.
The interview went crazy on the internet.
Yeah, I think millions and millions
because he talked about a lot of stuff. Like he talked about, the late Kobe Bryant, his former Lakers teammate. He talked about LeBron James, who was a teammate of his, and Penny Hardaway, who played basketball with on the Orlando Magic, and compared the three. And so, those are just some of the things where it extends outside the court, extends the in the field, and you have the home version on the phone and taping things. And I think, he's somebody that is definitely an ally and someone that I can call on when I need to.
I have my allies too, but they don't always want to be out about.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
I
You make that
understand.
phone call, I said, I need this or we need that, because I try to get things for our viewers, and I'm saying they need housing, they need food. Mm-hmm. You are amazing.
Thank
I
you.
could listen to you all day. That's probably why you have a podcast that's got millions of followers.
Right.
But will you come back? Will you come back on our show?
Of course I will.
Like over and over again? Okay.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, and I'm hearing breaking news with Tatiana. One more story. Give me one more story. I just want to listen to you all day.
Well, it's interesting. Michael Jordan is probably one of the most storied basketball players ever. Everybody talks about the GOAT. And I find that a lot of times, a lot of Michael's peers want to tell stories. And, a lot of different stories are being told, and I think he's become more humanized as time has gone on. A story that stands the test of time for me is I remember one time a gentleman named Rashawn McLeod came and sat down with me, and he told a story about how it went viral. Michael Jordan was playing against a Jerry Stackhouse, who's now a assistant coach with the Golden State Warriors, but he played in the NBA, and Michael scored about 48 points on Jerry Stackhouse. And while he was playing against Jerry, he was singing Anita Baker's Giving You the Best That I Got. That's the story he told.
What? While he was getting 48 points?
The backstory of that is that
unbelievable.
That Rashawn said that Jerry Stackhouse called him and that it didn't happen. And I called Jerry, it didn't happen, I'm giving you the edited version. And Jerry actually sat down with me and told his side of the story. And we're friends now. He was upset about that for a while. But Jerry and I passed it up. We bumped into each other at a party about a year ago, and in Houston, and it's a funny story. But Michael Jordan stories are always, coffee table stories because
you could write a book. I would totally love this.
That's on the horizon. I just did a documentary on Michael Jordan and Isaiah Thomas, which you can find on YouTube. Yes.
Oh my God! Is there anything that you don't do? Like
Sleep.
I literally.
Sleep.
Yeah, but they're saying you need to sleep now. They're saying that's the key. How come we don't sleep though? I didn't sleep for years with the morning show. I don't sleep now. I'm a mom. We're in trouble.
We're creatures of habit.
I think so.
We're journalists.
You need to co-host with me. Let's say this. Tatiana's listening, my producer right now. You are the best. Will you come back?
I will.
Okay.
Yes.
I could listen to you all day.
Likewise.
All right, well, thanks for joining us.
Thanks
we love you, Scoopy.
Love you too.
And don't forget to watch our podcast. That's on YouTube, just like yours. I don't have the millions of followers, maybe with Scoop B. I'm going to get that. And don't forget to watch our TV segment every night on Pix 11. We love Pix 11 News on TV at 5:45 and 6:45. We're continuing to make it happen. If you need my help, you know how to reach me. Monica Morales TV. Let's keep making it happen together. We love Scoop B.
Love Monica.
You're
Thank you.
making it happen. You.